Hey you guys, welcome back to my channel, and today we're going to do a reaction slash breakdown for Kombat Kast number 3. I was away on vacation when the Sindel and Shao trailer dropped, so I wasn't able to do a formal reaction, but I did do one over on my TikTok page. So if you haven't seen that, go ahead and head over to my TikTok page to check out that reaction. So what I wanted to do today is a pseudo breakdown of the Kombat Kast, which I have not watched yet, and see what Sindel and Shao are going to give us in Mortal Kombat 1. Just want to say thank you guys so much for the support throughout the reveals and the breakdowns. I really appreciate it. This channel I will have a ton of Mortal Kombat content when this game drops. So without further ado, let's get into this Kombat Kast.
So let's start with some of the basics. Two cool things about her in this game is she has these cool VFX, like this purple energy.
Ooh,
and then
she's really using her hair.
Regal purple.
Absolutely. She has really good range, as you'd imagine someone with magical long hair. And there's a couple normals I really wanted to talk about. First is forward 4, which kind of takes out of the page of the last game, and it's like kind of her main mid-range tool you want to use to get in.
And that's
So that's coming
Yes.
back. That's back, I
And it's
guess.
pretty quick, but it has a really neat new follow-up. She jumps into the air, it's a low combo starter, and she can actually control how far she goes. She can do the close version, and actually land right in front of them, far version. Or she can just do it by itself, go in for a throw.
That's a wrap.
Thank you. Go for this cool low.
Oh, that low looks cool.
Another normals is back 2, which leads into an overhead, and she can combo into it, or you can do back 2 by itself and actually be airborne. Let's go over the special moves. We'll start with the classic, the scream, the iconic, quintessential symbol. It's still one of her best combo starters. It stuns. They can't hear anything for a while. She's going to get a free hit. Kind of do it at mid-range if you think they're off. You caught
It
them
looks
sleeping,
so
not
good,
blocking.
the animation.
Like I said, it's great to hit confirm. It's
With
just,
punish.
Exactly.
I just
right.
throw it out all the time.
All the time. Then let's go over fireballs, which are always one of the most important kind of key things about her offense. She has high hairball, low hairball.
Ooh.
In the moves list.
Yes, that's canonical, hairball. And then air hairball. New to this game is it's a straight, very quick fireball. It is not the downward arc it has previously done. You can do it really low to the ground and it's quick, and I think it's pretty effective.
And it takes up a lot of space, too.
Her EX versions have some interesting properties. So, straight one will actually eat up fireballs. So if you use a bar
okay.
when you're zoning more, you'll actually beat out their projectile. And the low ones are really neat. So she adds that little hair whip in the beginning, and up close, actually a hit that will pop them up. Means in the corner, you can do cool stuff.
Oh.
Get a combo. Oh my god. There we go.
Wow.
I think
She got some swag on
So
her.
it's neat. It turns this pure zoning tool up close into an actual offensive tool.
so two different ways you can use it.
Exactly.
Both equally cool.
You can also use that with your mix-ups, which gets to the next tool, her cartwheel, the overhead, straight from MK9. If it EX it has armor. It's really good up close. It's great as a wake-up attack. You can use
What's
it
going
after
on with her head?
this. You can mix it up with
Is that a glitch?
her sweep, and a really fun down three. Look at that.
So like for me when I play against you, you really have to be paying attention because one of the moves is a mid, the other is an overhead.
Exactly.
They look different, but you have to
Yes.
you can't be on autopilot.
Right. And then lastly, she has the classic levitate.
Finally.
Float in the air, she can drop straight down. So like for example, you're trying to zone. We can use standing low fireballs to go under your hairball. Not very effective to do low fireball when you're literally not touching the ground.
Right.
She can also cancel it, and she can do fun cancels. Like for example, she can do the back two, the airborne.
She's gonna be a
twice,
nightmare.
and
Like
the
people who
exit,
love
actually
doing that
significantly
cancel stuff.
faster. And she has some true block strength that they won't be able to interrupt.
Got it.
Now let's talk about how this can play into her cameo. I have chosen
Serena.
Serena, who we got a little taste of in the last trailer, but now we're actually going to show her moves. So her first attack is the blade. It's a very quick projectile. You can see the cooldown is pretty quick. Then she also has Kia's blades. She goes full demon.
Oh,
throws
shit.
multiple, they come back. And this actually leads into combos, so you can do fun stuff. You can turn that into a full combo.
That did look good.
That is
She
what?
can really get up in the air.
Yes.
In a lot of ways.
In a
I
lot
mean,
of
yeah.
ways. She also
Damn.
has her demon up kick, which is a great wake up attack. It's invincible. It's really quick. You can also use it as an anti-air. And then lastly, she has a fourth move. Every cameo has at least 3, and some might have more, so she's one of those. Jakata's Curse.
The dot, yeah.
She puts this rune on the ground, and while the opponent is standing in it,
Oh, it drains their meter?
default, Liu Kang's meter's being
Wow.
Yeah, pretty fast.
Yeah. Now, this is an
I thought it
ambush
was gonna be
move, so
dot
you can
damage.
Do it while Sindel's doing other actions. So, for example, while you have a combo going, you can summon her.
Oh, there's a lot of setups there.
Yeah, so you can imagine you can use that in the corner, in the middle of your combo, have her coming out, drain your meter, stuff like that. She could even do nasty stuff like drain your meter so you can't break a combo in the middle of your combo.
She's not gonna like breakers right now.
She does not, which is, let's maybe get into that a little bit more. So, let's go back to what we said earlier. Sindel has a couple of moves using the cameo system. So, Sindel in the lore, she's the queen. She has this commanding presence. She has, what the kids would say is riz.
Oh, they would say that.
Thank you. And, she could use that to actually command her cameo and maybe more. So let's start with this buff move. Once you activate it, while it's active, cooldown will be significantly faster for your cameo. So you can see normally, this move's already pretty quick. Once she has this active, it's even quicker, and Serena, she is recovering so fast her cooldown, she can basically do that like almost indefinitely. So you can turn what normally would be kind of a limited use move into something that you can just use almost like any other special move. Well, some of the other ones,
Wow, that's a game changer.
pretty long cooldown, it's significantly faster when you have that active.
Now she's giving herself up there.
Correct.
There is some, yeah.
Correct. But once she gets going, her cameo use is substantially better. There's also an EX version with a really interesting twist. When she EX it, she's now commanding the opponent's cameo, and if the opponent tries to break, they will be stunned, and you get a reset instead. So let's show that
Wow.
again. Have the move active. The opponent goes for a break, and you can see Sonya actually is like, gets the little head and, oh my god, I'm confused. And your breaker is not just disabled. Once you get that stun, they will be popped up, and Sindel gets a full reset.
Got it.
No
That is
breakers.
crazy.
Couple ways to avoid them. It seems
Yes.
like.
There's also another really interesting move I'd like to show. So for this one, Sindel can take control of an opponent's cameo and stun them. So for example, I will call it out. and Sonya is actually dizzy.
Yep.
If Sindel is in the middle of doing this move, where she points, while the cameo is out, so you have to do it on a read. The cameo is stunned
Wow.
this entire length of time and cannot be summoned.
Okay.
There's also an EX version. With this version, Sonya will leave the screen and I gain control of her. And I actually get a free use of either of the cameo's moves of my choosing. So for example,
Yo.
I now have Square Wave. And
And
that
you-
use of
you can
cameo-
pick any of them.
Correct.
Not just
Any
the
of
one they were
Sonya's
doing.
moves. Right.
Got it.
I have control over it for a pretty good amount of time, and it does not cost any kind of cooldown or anything. So you could actually do stuff.
That's
like
crazy.
summon Sonya to start leg grab to go into a combo, and then go into Serena's demon like anti-air move to end the combo if I wanted. You could even use 3 cameo moves in one combo if you wanted to.
People are gonna have some fun in training mode on this one.
Yeah, it's really, really neat, and it's something that's gonna, how effective and the way you use it's gonna change on
That
the
is
your opponent's
crazy. They really gone all out with
Yeah.
Do we
her.
want to do Fatal Blow? Is that
I
all?
think that's the best way we can finish, right?
Let's do it.
That is really unique what they've done with
yeah.
Sindel. They've almost like tied her to the game's mechanics, which is interesting. That is fairly interesting to
leg pull.
tie her that
Yeah,
her
it's
cameo
definitely amongst the most
moves
brutal in the game, I think.
Pretty bad. Pretty
are a
good.
game changer.
Good bad.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Cool. Let's. You want to move on to Rain?
I think so.
Again, as we were talking about Sindel, who's Rain? Who plays Rain? What player played?
I think Rain's always been kind of a flashy.
All right, let's see
appeals
Rain
to
now.
People that like to hit buttons.
Yeah.
Rain's, though, quite a bit different in this game. Rain has traditionally been a ninja. In this game,
Now
in
he's a
this
mage.
era, he's been completely reimagined as a mage. He's the high mage in Sindel's Kourt, and his moveset has substantially changed. There will be little hints and FUD nods to the previous versions of Rain, like you'd expect,
Right.
but he's going to be one of the more radically altered characters, and I think it's an interesting new take. So,
And like we've done in the new era, like all the characters will have, they're still somewhat who you know. There's still stuff that's
Right.
going to bring you back to them that you loved using when you were younger.
yes.
But they've definitely changed.
Yeah, he probably has like mostly new moves to go with his new role, like his new power set. It's pretty neat. So let's
I
check
hope
it
he's a
out.
zoner. Like, we haven't gotten a zoner yet.
So you'll notice right off the bat, he has a new weapon, which is his wizard staff, and he uses it in most of his normal attacks.
Oh my god, the
He is
range.
definitely now much less of a physical fighter than he ever has been before. He is a very powerful mage, and he uses it in most of his attacks. A couple normals I really wanted to talk about. Like you can see even his swing. Instead of using his foot, he literally uses his water staff. This is definitely
I love the
coolest
kick
thing.
up, the
It's
kick up.
so good.
And you'll notice the water leaves the top, gets in there, and then comes back to the top.
Right. I absolutely love it. So let's start off with a couple normals I really wanted to show. His forward 2, forward 2, 1, 3 is this like really good range mid.
So dramatic.
It's also got forward 3, which is an overhead, into a double overhead, and he gets a pop-up. That'll be one of his most important, I think. And then one other normal I really wanted to show was a standing 4, which
Aw,
even
that's
though
a
he's
throwback.
A ninja, he still has tremendous leg strength.
Right.
So strong that he can actually kick you across the world. Now this is an interesting one because if you hold it, he gets a combo. And he can also cancel out of the hole to fake you out.
Okay.
Mmm.
There you go. See, I'm good. And let's check out his throw, which is a nice nod to the classic water bubble. He goes in with you, and then you burst out. So you can see his normal attacks are very fresh and different. And I think the water effects are awesome. So you want to go into his special moves?
I think so.
So he has some really interesting...
All right, let's see his
zoning
special
tools.
moves.
I mean, some might even call him a premier zoner. And let's start with
Yay! I guess that's my zoning
his great
character.
projectile, which takes up a ton of real estate. It's fairly quick and has some interesting ways that you can change it. If you EX it, he gets a full knockdown. He can actually hold it down and get a stagger.
Ooh.
And you can actually cancel out of this hold down. So you can mix up doing the move,
Yeah.
doing different timings, doing the EX, or canceling out of it. Keep the opponent guessing. When you have a projectile like that that takes up a ton of space, what's the one thing you know the opponent's going to try to do to beat it?
Duck it.
Jump?
Jump. And that's not going to be super effective because he has an anti-air version. And this has a very neat EX that actually allows him to pop up for combos. So I think it's pretty cool. Again, it makes a full screen projectile become kind of an offensive
It's
tool.
literally raining everywhere.
Now, one thing would be, well, what happens if they're using projectiles against him? And he has a water bubble where he surrounds himself in water, and any projectile is going to be negated. They'll actually just be destroyed when it hits the water bubble. And this
He
is
could
something
walk
you can
out of
set
it.
up, go behind,
Okay.
go in the middle of.
Works as a shield.
That's
He
crazy.
exits, it surrounds him, and travels with him.
Kind of walking down.
Exactly. So then you can go in, do his lows, do his overhead, all that good stuff when he has the water shield on.
Gotcha.
Now, there's other ways you can get in. He could set these water portals, and he can set them anywhere he wants. And then he can actually warp through them. So you could do cool stuff.
How long does that stay on the
Set one
screen?
here, go in, when you want to get out, warp back to where you were. Or, when you're in, you can set one, do some fun zoning, and then use this to get back in.
That's too much. That's a lot.
You go straight into combos, fun stuff like that. Now, once you've established that you're willing to teleport or throw out some of these fireballs, and the opponent's scared to move, you can start using the whirlpool. And he has close, medium, and far. These will go on the ground, and if the opponent walks into it, they get popped up for combos.
So the cameo is going to allow him to set a lot of those moves
Yes,
up.
it is so cool looking. Another move he has is his Geyser. This is a pretty good advancing special. He can 2 and 1 into, and if he EX it has armor. So it's a good wake-up attack, a good way to beat pressure, and I think it'll be one of his best combo enders.
And
then
it
lastly,
creates space
one
too.
more
That's
awesome
interesting.
full range move that kind of shows the full extent of his power.
So cool.
And this is a
That
move that you
move-
can actually hold
So dramatic.
or cancel and just drop down. So you can do stuff like you're doing your water ball, and what's called a fireball, and it's literally the opposite of that. Go into this, fake out the opponent, immediately drop down. You can do all kind of stuff. Set up portals, be doing that Thunder God move, cancel it, go through the portal.
That's going to
There's
take
all
some
kind of
time to
options.
get used to.
I think
Because like I like
you really
zoning,
just
but I don't
start
necessarily like to
freezing up
set
full screen
stuff
getting
up.
Start doing his mix-ups. And speaking of the mix-ups, let's kind of show how he can use his cameo and go with that. I assigned him Striker because I think a cop teaming with a wizard is the exact kind of thing you'd see in Mortal Kombat, right? So the first thing I'll show with Striker is he has his grenade toss. Straight out of MK3, comes in, throws the double grenades. They can either go low or high. And you can imagine, these are ambush moves, which means they can come out while Rain is doing his attacks. So you can do stuff like you're doing your straight water beam while he's doing his grenades. They can also aid you in combos. So you can do stuff like...
Oh, that's nice.
Striker also has a set of baton moves. He's got Cop Bop, where he comes in and does an overhead, and the classic baton sweep from MK3. So these are lows and overheads. So, great
Got access to
example.
both of them.
Yes.
Nice.
So, one thing you could do,
That's like 50-50 on the
you got your overhead.
cameo.
Stand blocking all the time because they don't want to get popped up. What am I supposed to do? Sweep them. You can also do this in a string. So in overhead, you can do overhead, low. Then they get used to the timing. They're like, oh, I'm one of these like ninja killer or Sonic people with good reflexes. I can fuzzy that. Then you start doing stuff like Cop Bop. Mix it up. So just from this video,
It's just amazing
you can
how they've
Striker
made these
have
cameos like so unique.
That's how you beat Sonic Fox.
Exactly. That's the key. That's
Got it.
all you have to do.
Got
And
it.
like a famous football player once said, it's more than a 50-50.
Got it.
Lastly, Striker has one more move, which I think is
The cop
probably
thing. I
my
saw this
favorite.
on Twitter.
My favorite thing is they use the sports reference.
Well, sort of.
Half and half.
Striker comes from behind and handcuffs you, and this gives you a reset.
That
Then
is
you get a
so
bunch of
funny.
moves, and you can go for a mix-up.
Okay.
So you get into your combos with a handcuff move, then go in and continue your offense. So like you could start a combo with your overhead, go into the handcuffs, and then make them guess low.
Got it.
It's super
That's
fun.
really cool.
Yeah. So I think
It's
that's,
so funny.
that's Rain and Striker, and I maybe go into his Fatal Blow.
Let's take a look.
And I'll just say Striker is my favorite Fatal Blow.
Okay.
Yeah, this fatal blow is nuts. Oh, we didn't see Reigns. Oh, that's nice.
All right. That was Rain.
The amount of love that they
Very
put
exciting.
into these characters
Makes it
is
awesome.
Definitely
insane.
not washed up.
Nope. Some fresh moves.
Yeah, I watched up.
Fun and salty.
Nice.
Let's move on. We're going to talk about General Xiao now, a character that I'm very excited about as a lover of big, bruising characters.
Yeah.
He's still big and bruising.
I'm still not
the
over
general.
Sindel being
Just the
able
general.
to
He's not the
control
emperor.
cameos.
He's got a new weapon, new moveset.
A bit of a stance character, but I wouldn't say in the same vein as like a Kenshi.
Right.
But definitely when he has axe in his hand, axe out of his hand. When it's out of his hand, be careful when you're near the axe. That's all I'm going to say. Let's take a look at how he works. So, big thing, just to show, this is kind of the thesis statement, just swings for the fences.
He's a
right?
powerhouse.
This is back two, it has advantage. So if you're
That's a
blocking,
back two?
Don't push the buttons probably.
Yeah, I was
buttons
just
there?
jabbing.
Don't do that because you're going to get hit.
Right.
Great move there. This is a really quick, kind of almost get a little distance to it too. Like I can get you from there. Like really nice, kind of can lead in some combos.
Right.
Punishing move I like to use is this right here. Very fast, bounces them up.
He looks
Show some more
nice.
stuff with that later.
Everybody
Obviously,
looks so good in this
some
game.
pathways with that move.
I also
Like,
really like how his kick attacks are
amazing.
just either uses Zax or he's just huge big boots.
Just like
Yeah,
stand there,
just-
big boot. And like a lot of people, I enjoy the two-player animation strings.
Right.
So he has this overhead, doesn't combo anything, but hit the throw button
So
afterwards.
good.
And he also has a low one as well.
Ooh.
We'll come back to those later as well.
Right.
Now let's talk about his special moves. His special move, the one that kind of encapsulates what he is Power Strike. He will just throw the axe on the ground, and there it is. And you have about 7-8 seconds just to do stuff without the axe, right? You can also call it back. Go.
Okay.
Now when it's on the ground, different strings. That's back one.
Nice.
He also, and I get the axe back after, of course, doing the command grab.
So all of his axe moves get replaced with different normal attacks.
Yes.
And some are faster, some have different reactions.
Right. And some change some of your other special moves. We'll get to that in a second.
Even his throw changes.
Yes, even his throw. So here's his.
So he basically
throw.
has 2 movesets.
While we're at it, just to show them, Motaro as well. And then with the axe, he just bangs in the face with the axe.
Right.
Other specials he has.
Oh, okay.
So you
Similar.
can huge. That was the meter burn. You got a full screen projectile. Now, if you're close, you can. Sorry about that. You can do some of this.
Pops up. Nice.
Right. He has a buff. This makes your axe power do more damage. You can
Okay.
also EX that to get more time on it as well. Big move in his arsenal that also leads to a lot of crazy good damage is his armored launcher is his knee.
It's kind of represented, kind of makes me think of the MK3 like up shoulder, except now it's a knee.
Right, and you can throw that out a lot of places. Always there. But if you EX the knee, you get a free power slam after that. So you can do like that.
Okay.
And then it's on the ground again.
Okay.
So
And that's such
how
a
you
different way to
rotate
play
throughout.
this character.
And now it's on the ground, now it's back to me. So then you can start doing really cool stuff like this into power slam, back into that.
Nice.
That's a pretty nice chunky combo.
And now you
That
have the axe
is.
back.
Right. When the axe
Look
is
at
on
the
the ground,
swords in the background.
other cool things can happen. Power slam. Now, I have a ground pound.
Neat.
Now here's the interesting thing. When you are on the axe, it is an overhead load,
Okay.
which is kind of tough to block.
Yeah.
You can also, throw this down, do this.
And that's like a
Oh.
quick recall.
Right. Yeah, so if you have it down, you also have a move where you can just be near it, and it's very fast. Slash.
Okay.
Can you duck
A lot of
that?
really cool stuff you can do.
And he's clearly meant to be going in and out during
Yes.
the fight, in the middle of combos, getting it back at the end of combos.
Maybe recalling it if you want to.
Right.
Lots of stuff like that.
Man.
If you are, as
I'm
my
just
opponent,
so blown
near
away
the
by
axe,
what they're
there's a lot of stuff you
doing.
need to think about.
Right, so it's almost like with the axe, you have, kind of really good range, not the quickest moves. Without the axe, you're much quicker, and
Yes.
you can use it, establish the axe on the screen, and you're going to have to respect it, and that's going to kind of open up your grabs, your mix-ups, stuff like that.
And it's super cool. You can also, he also, just pick stuff out of the air and that sort of thing. I mean, the knee into power strike is huge.
Right.
Right. Really important. Make sure I'm not missing anything. I do want to show some stuff with Motaro.
Okay.
So Motaro has a couple things you can use. Now, obviously, I'm a big guy.
Oh, Motaro's an interesting cameo.
Projectiles might scare me.
Right.
Well, I can do this. I can pull them out, walk behind it. You don't want to be throwing projectiles.
That's so
That will
good.
reflect. And
It sends it
walking
back to
down
you.
with them.
But can you hit him out of it?
I love that, that's a way to call back to his thick reflect skin from
Right.
MK3.
And now you're you're a little confused. What do you do?
I wonder if you could hit him out of it.
Nice.
He also has this turret you can do. He'll shoot 3 shots at you. Has a low one too. You can do that.
Oh, he has a low one
Here's
too.
something that I've chosen Motaro with General Shao for a reason.
Okay.
Remember this move?
Yes.
Can't do a lot out of it.
Right.
He has his teleport, right?
Okay.
Maybe you can read a projectile, maybe not. But you can move around the battlefield quicker as
Right.
General Shao. But with this overhead, I can teleport and still
That's a
continue a
true
combo.
combo.
It's a true combo.
That's
So
a
now you have to worry about
combo.
this, and you have to worry about something like this. Like that's now in play.
Right.
So you can do the full thing too. You can do like
What a cool example of one of my favorite things about the Cameo system. It
Right.
allows you to break the rules and
Wow.
And I think that's why I love Shao so much, is that he breaks the rules also with the knee into power slam.
Right.
It's a special into a special, which Johnny can do too. Of course, he breaks that rule at times with his meter, with his height meter. But yeah, that's a lot
There's
of
gonna
cool,
be
fun,
so many layers to this game,
breaking the
man.
meta of what Shao is, just you can do with that.
And I think it's so neat about the cameo system. You kind of look at your play style, look at your character, and think, what are my weaknesses? What are the things I think I'm missing? And you can use your cameo to turn those weaknesses into strengths.
And for me, it's like if I'm so far away from people, just as a zoner, just even having this just to get me out of dodge, right?
Right.
Now I'm close again.
Now
And
you're
now
close.
now you don't want to beat me. Let's show the.
The fatal blow.
Yeah, give yourself 1%.
Let's do that real quick. Show the fatal blow.
It's a real good one.
Drops it from the sky.
From the sky.
Oh, he's not horsing around.
Ooh.
General Shao.
These characters,
Super fun.
every single character is
Good
sick.
gameplay.
Oh my god.
Just a different style of fighting, different than you're used to for General Shao. So
Right.
it's been a really cool time.
Yeah, and I think it's really neat. You know, we also showed Gear as having these big brute characters who you might think is like, oh, they're brain dead brawlers, or whatever. And no, in this game, no, they're not. They're definitely, you know, really interesting, nuanced characters. It's really cool.
Or they can just swing an axe as hard as they want.
Or you could just do back to over and over again and do throws.
Right, and that's also
Right.
a fun way to play. So before we go, Derek's not here, and this hurts so bad. You know that, right? It's time for birthday shout-outs, everybody. I don't mind the birthday.
All right,
shout-outs.
I'm gonna
It's
skip
the
this
one,
part and see what else they have.
Here we go. We would
Ooh,
love to show
QA
you.
fight.
This would be a fun one.
It'll be a really cool one. So we'll show you that. Let's take a look.
Yeah.
Oh, Baraka.
The General and Baraka. This is no nuance needed.
No, these are two monster brawler guys. They love to fight. They're nasty.
Baraka
So
and
we've got
Striker.
Baraka with Striker
Leaves his blades in the ground, regrows blades. Awesome.
and Shao with Motaro.
Oh,
I
this should
have
be
no
interesting.
idea why Striker would be working with Baraka, but you don't always have to follow the lore.
Ooh.
Ooh,
Big whip.
whiffs that overhead.
Power slam.
That is such
See
a
if Shao
long.
keeps him in the
Look how
corner?
much
Nope,
damage
switch
that
sides.
Now
is.
you can with that move choose which way you want to go.
Right. Oh, big stab, shish kebab. Back to flaming neutral.
That big jump stop the rocket. Is
Oh, he
very
completely.
fun.
Oh, that's unsafe.
Yes.
Oh, did he fatal flawless block the last hit? Oh, I missed
Notice
it.
how
Nah, that's not gonna hit.
he had
Oh, it hit!
it was a pop up without the axe in his hand, without any movement.
Forgot to block the second part of that fatal blow, the low. That's tricky.
Oh. They've shortened the fatal blows, but they've made them more impactful. Because Striker just looks ridiculous.
One way to look at it is at least Baraka no longer has his fatal blow. Good job.
Oh, that's
attack.
nice.
Throws got him punished.
Ooh.
Breaker.
Big break. That was going to put the axe on the ground and leave some damage.
Ah, the
I
Motaro
love
kick.
those breakers, just a big hind kick. It's so exciting to see Motaro back. You know, he's a character that makes very, very few appearances. Like, I've always wanted him back. Very exciting.
Look at this big
Not
monster in
earlier,
the
he backed him
corner.
Twice, but he will do it again.
Yes. Sometimes
Nice-
you got to do
that's
it
a
again.
nice
No
combo.
mix up, mix up. Big overhead.
Very quick over.
Woefully incompetent.
Yeah, it'll be interesting to see. There could be matchups where it's better to not use your axe as much, have axeless be the main way you fight if they're a faster
Oh, look at
character,
that.
like Kang or something. Another breaker. They take 3 bars in this game, and I think one thing a lot of people forget is your cameo has to be available.
And notice when he breaks right
Yeah, I noticed that when playing the beta too. I was like, are you serious?
This is a close one.
Oh, that's
really
punish.
good punish. Gets the turn out. Nice.
Oh.
That'll be it. Let's see what he's gonna do.
He's gonna do a fatality? Oh, Motaro's fatality?
This looks dangerous for Baraka. Well, that didn't go well for Baraka.
Wow.
That's a bummer.
All right. Well, thank you all so much for joining us.
Damn.
We'd love to hear what you think on Twitter, what you think
Yeah.
about the characters and whatnot. For myself and Stephanie, we will see you next time on the.
Per usual, Mortal Kombat 1 is shaping up to be something quite amazing, and I can't wait until this game comes out September 19th. Oh, it's so good.